Hello and welcome to another video on the An Everyday Angler YouTube channel. Now, bit of a different format this time. Normally I just film a little bit in the car on the way and then get fishing. This time I'm going to try and include a couple of venues sort of put together. So I'm going to be starting on the Basingstoke Canal early in the morning trying to catch a pike. Now, pike, for whatever reason, recently have just completely eluded me. I've tried everything. I've been on the big pits on my club water trying to catch them, been on canals, on rivers. Nothing. The only time I've actually caught one was using maggots trying to catch perch, and it was about 6 or 7 inches long. So yeah, it hasn't gone well. So I'm going to start there. So tomorrow morning it's going to be, and I will try and catch a pike for the Basingstoke Canal. So join me on the bank. Nearly ready to cast in. Right, well, the rods are out. It's hard to tell on here, but I can actually see the floats. One is here. The other one is here. So, literally only going to give this an hour until it's light. If not light by then, I won't bother continuing, as I've fished here many times. As soon as the sun gets up, it seems the fish will not take the dead baits in the clear water. So we'll give it a bit, see what happens. Well, it's well and truly light now, so this is about when I'd normally just stop fishing for the pike here on the dead baits, and it also looks like it's just about to absolutely hammer down. So I think I'll call that a day for here. I'll give it 5 more minutes and then I'll reel the rods in. Can't win them all. Well, that's all she wrote. But nice to be out of the house, I suppose. It's just started raining. The fish just not interested. It's been a really weird time for me for pike fishing. I just don't feel it's got that cold. We've had a couple of cold spells where I've had frost on the car, you know, I had to defrost the car. It's even snow a little bit. But this has always been during the week, really, when I'm working. Every time it comes to trying to actually pike fish at a weekend or when I can, it's warm, you know, it's 11 degrees at the moment, which is like bloody tropical, really, for end of December. So yeah, a bit annoying. I don't know if the weather would have made any difference. They might just not be there. You know, the canal's a long bit of water. There's not a huge number of pike in here, and the big ones seem to have all but vanished. So, well, you know, that's one of them. We'll try again another day. Well, that wasn't ideal. tricky conditions, I suppose we could put it down to, and being the Basingstoke Canal, it is either, well, with me, it seems to be either on or off. You leave a catch or you won't. It's one of those kind of places. And with the pike, I don't know, it might just be me, but I've always struggled to get numbers of pike on the Basingstoke Canal. But we give it a go, and it was a nice couple of hours, if that, on the bank. So, for the next trip, I headed to the Salmon Cut, which is one of the waters on my RDAA ticket. It's part of the Kennet and Avon Canal, which joins onto the River Kennet. I was joined by the passionate piscator, a good friend of mine, Steve, fishing partner and friend of over 30 years. So, yeah, enjoy the video. Right, so here we are. We're at the Salmon Cut now, which is, I think, halfway between Reading and Aldermaston, something like that. There's Steve in the background, pointing around. Yeah, we're going to give this a little go, see what's about. I suppose it used to be a really, really good section, you know, the likes of, I'm sure, Andy Little, I think. I could be wrong, but, you know, some very good anglers used to fish on this stretch for the big perch that are in here. Now, I've tried a couple of times on lures in the last year or so and not really had anything. Steve's going to be on the worm and maggot, so we're going to see if that can produce. I'm on the lure kit. I've got my little light lure rod. I've also got a pike rod down there to give that a go as well. We're right on the edge, so you've got the canal behind me and it enters into the river here. So this part here has always been said to be a very good area. So let's have a go. Here we go. Nice little perch from the Salmon Cut. Hopefully we can get a few more. Lovely. Let's get it back. Right. Gonna give the pike fishing a go. Had the one little perch, but nothing else. Something a bit bigger on. Let's see if we can catch any socks. Yet again, not the greatest of sessions, just the one little perch to show for the efforts, but it seems to be quite documented at the moment that the River Kennet and the Kennet and Avon Canal are struggling a bit for fish stocks. It seems to be, if you know where they are, you know, barbel, big barbel and chub, you're okay because they seem to stay fairly localized and you can manage to catch. But when you don't know where the fish are, you kind of go to areas that look like they will hold fish. For instance, the Salmon Cut is very well known, or used to be very well known, for its large perch. And that's one of those days. It was very, very wet, and then it became incredibly windy, which meant using a lure of any description was near on impossible, and using a float was just as difficult. So it's one of them. We tried and we tried, but it just didn't happen. We'll try again. So for the next session, I decided to hit the River Wey, stupidly, as it turns out. With all the rain, the river was high, very, very difficult conditions. The river's normally fairly clear. It was like hot chocolate. It was horrendous. But I gave it a go, and this was the outcome. Well, you join me walking up towards the riverway. It's windy, a bit wet, and I forgot my hat. But let's see if we can get a few dace out. Probably some minnows, or maybe nothing, because it is very flooded compared to what it usually is. It's probably a couple of feet up and chocolate brown. Let's see what we can get. First little fish, I believe that's a little chub. Mouth looks a bit big to be a dace, huge mouth. So yeah, nice little start. Let's see if we can get some more. Ooh. It's a whopper, tiny little minnow. Just spat a maggot on my hand. So at least there's something biting. I've moved down to the final part that I'm going to fish. It's normally pretty good. It's a bit deeper than the rest of the river, but at the moment it's a lot deeper than the rest of the river, and chocolate brown. So unsure if I'll get anything from it. So I'll just switch this around and show you what I mean. So you can see these ledges underneath the bridge. Now they're normally out of the water by quite a way, and this section here is pretty deep. So I'm going to get the plummet out. I'm not going to fish the centre of it because it's too fast. I'm going to fish one of the eddies either on the other side or this side and just see what we can get. Hopefully more than just a minnow. Well, I've tried on this swim. I've tried the whole river. It's out of sorts and very flooded compared to its usual form. Well, oh, this little fella is going to be my last fish here. It's been good. It's been tricky conditions. This is way more flooded than it usually is. So I will return for the dace when it's back to its normal form. A little less colour, or a lot less colour. It's normally fairly clear. And yeah, see what we can catch then. I mean, I could put it down to me not having my hat. I obviously don't fish very well without it. So yeah, thank you for joining me on the bank. So the wave was a lot of fun. It's not everyone's cup of tea, but I could spend hours catching minnows. They're great little fish, and on a day as hard as that was, it really, you know, it was really good fun. Bonus little chub. So yeah, for a river that's well out of form, I was very, very happy with that. So next and lastly, I am going to Ashmore Lakes. It's a little complex up the road from where I live. I've fished there for probably over 30 years. It's Steve, the passionate piscator. I'll be going with him again, and it's actually his family's farm where the lakes are. So it's run by Steve's family, which is how I've been fishing them for so long. It's where I grew up fishing. It's where I learned all of my sort of skills on these lakes. So yeah, enjoy the video. Well, good morning. Down at Ashmore Lakes with the passionate piscator, Steve. It's finally stopped raining. It's been hammering down the whole morning. I've only been here about an hour, and it's finally stopped. The wind is howling through, so I've just walked back into the woods a little bit, so I can actually speak on camera. I've got Steve behind me over there. We're just setting up on Lake 2. So let's see what we can catch on this really windy day. So today I'm going to be using 2 lines of attack. I'm going to float fish the margins and just stick a little solid bag out for some carp or anything else that fancies eating it. I had a couple made up already. These little fellas here with the little stems on, so literally all you need is a loop on your main line. Pass the loop through the stem and then over the solid bag, and you're fishing. Simple as that. It's that thick. So let's get that out and then get the float gear sorted. No, it's a roach. There's the first one. Little roach. He's freezing. Let's get him back, shall we? I didn't bring a towel with me. God damn it. I have to use my snood. That's going to be my towel. Another little fella. Many old cockles on a very cold day. Hopefully something a little bigger comes along, but I'm happy catching these. Fishing to the right hand side of the swim on the float out to the island with the sleeper. The sleeper has stayed asleep, so I've been feeding the left hand side of the swim with pellet. as well as maggot to see if I can spice it up and get something other than perch and roach and rudd. So I'll give that a go in a moment. I'm just going to persist down here for about another 10-15 minutes. If nothing happens, I'll pull the sleeper rod in and fish on the left hand side. I've just started fishing on the left. It's not quite what I was after. Let's see if we can get something else down there. I'm baited with pellets as well. So hopefully that would encourage something a bit bigger. Tiny little bream. Lovely. This snood is definitely going to need a wash. Well, there ends that session. Very, very abruptly, actually. I'd completely forgot I had a like a click and collect order to pick up at 11:30, and my other half texted me sort of about 10 past and wondered what time I was back. So yeah, wasn't the greatest, but yeah. But I had a few fish. It was fairly good. I think I could have had a hell of a lot more if I'd stayed there longer, but just one of them things at this time of year, you always end up being somewhere. But yeah, there we go. I had a good day, and that's the main thing. Well, that's all we've got time for. Thank you for watching the video. It was a little different to usual, obviously, but being the season that we are, or the season that this was all filmed in around the Christmas period, I had a lot of time off, but not a lot of time to go fishing. So I thought I'd do a few small sessions and put them all together, hence why the video is like this. So yeah, thank you for watching. If you could please like and subscribe the video, and I'll see you on the next one.